afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Josh Guillory Show. I am your grateful host. And in studio with me, Q Money Magic Man over there. What's up, Q?
Oh, another beautiful day.
Man, shout out to our Rumble audience. Go check us out at rumble.com. You can look up the Josh Guillory Show. Also broadcasting live from the KPL studios here in Lafayette, Louisiana. Are we up on X? You can check us out on my X page at Josh Guillory USA. And a special shout out to our KLFY Plus viewing audience. We have so much stuff to talk about today. I hope we get all of them in. All of the and Q, I changed the titles to a few of the topics. Just a few.
Understood.
The first one's entitled Talk Branch. Yeah, you know, why not? Why not? Anybody that knows me knows what I'm talking about. It's Congress, legislative branch, councils, governor, legislatures. Not because they're bad. It's by design. It's designed to legislate, designed to go slower than the executive branch by design, just like the courts are designed to be even slower than the legislative branch. And that fact and that process has been abused politically. It's easy to get a headline. Anybody can file a complaint. Anybody can file a lawsuit. Anybody can drop anything because they just need the headline. And then they cite the headline 3 or 4 months later as the source for their new thing. It's something. It's something. Well, tell you, there's some other somethings we could talk about. President Donald Trump took a hit today. What? Politically. I don't know about politically, but he took a hit in the Senate. This week after a small group, earlier actually, small group of Republican senators joined Democrats to advance a war powers resolution aimed at limiting Trump's authority following, the whole Venezuela situation, the operation. The article I'm referring to, Fox News Digital by Alex Miller, explains how Senator Tim Kaine, remember him? He came close to being the VP.
A little bit.
Yeah. Tim Kaine, he had some support from Senator Rand Paul, Republican, who co-sponsored it. And the article kind of goes on and talks about how several Republicans crossed over to help it actually happen. All right, a few little facts here. So the Senate voted to advance a war powers resolution. Okay, not legislation, not a bill on Capitol Hill or anything like that. Big Tibbs, shout out, baby. You win on the Rumble chat. Let me see over there, rumble.com. Let me see that chat. And on the YouTubes. And on the X.
And the Facebook.
But the Senate voted earlier to advance this war powers resolution that would restrict, and a resolution would do it, I apologize, a resolution that would restrict further U.S. military action involving Venezuela unless Congress gives explicit approval. Okay, you got to get permission first. You can't. No, Commander-in-Chief. No, Executive Branch enforcing federal warrants. No. Can't do that. You got to go check in. Check in with Congress so they can talk about it. That's pretty confidential. I'm sure they'll keep everything to themselves. Republicans, some of the names one name may make you question. I don't know about the other one. I'm just reading his name. And one I would say is genuine. All right. I think Rand Paul is genuine.
Absolutely.
He is the only one that I think is genuine. I disagree with him. I do, because I don't think that is, well, let's talk about it, okay? Rand Paul, I have no problem with, because I think he's genuine in his beliefs. He's always been consistent on this kind of stuff. And from what I gather with him, it's a very limited, his position is way more limited, as you would expect, than some of these guys and gals. Now, Republican senators who voted with Democrats included, like we said, Senator Paul, Lisa Murkowski. Can she just switch her party?
She's still in office?
I honestly asked that.
I think she was elected before I was born.
I thought she was out. I really did I thought like the 2024 deal kicked her out. Not kicked her. I thought she was done.
That's what I thought.
Susan Collins.
Yep.
Come on now. I don't even know who Todd Young is. Do you?
Never heard of him.
Well, he's a Republican senator that voted. I know you now. voted as a Democrat. And Josh Hawley. I didn't suspect. Did you? That caught me by surprise.
That's surprising.
I could see some libertarian in him a little bit. I could see some of that. I could see some. I don't know if I see libertarian. I see principle in him. I just think he's principally wrong here. And I'm telling, just like I say with line item veto, whether it's a Democrat or Republican in office, we will be more fiscally sound if the president of the United States has line item veto. I totally disagree with the opinion of the Supreme Court. My opinion does not matter legally. Theirs does. But states have line item veto for their governor. Multiple, I don't know if most, but the ones I know of, municipalities, most of them, have a line item veto for financial things, not policy, but fiscal stuff. And you should. Someone. Why do you think we have Elon or Omar over there? Why do you think we have our $1.1 million earmark? Because we don't have line item veto. That stuff can go through like nothing. You know what I mean? Like really. And can you believe that? Just a reminder of yesterday's show. Yeah, Big Tib, I'm with you. Yeah, yesterday's show we were talking about that. I mean, in the midst of all that Minnesota fraud, your girl drops a $1.1 million earmark to one of those fraud companies.
It leaves me speechless.
And I thought it was at first was like, oh, she must have done that, and then it was like old legislation. It's just now. Oh no. Like, you gotta be. Here's the thing, though. I didn't see many people covering it. We had to dig to find that kind of stuff. Like, I know we're not the only ones covering it because we had a source, but come on, that should have been all over the news.
That should have been front page and every headline. But
I'm telling you, what I'm talking about here with from the lens of the executive branch, I would say the same for a Democrat. I'm telling you. Some of this stuff is not political, or it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. And, hey, say what you want. Maduro's arrest was not – it had politics in it. Everything the guy does is going to have a political implication. But as we are seeing the dominoes fall from this little incident, it has been very beneficial to the United States so far. And not so beneficial to our two most major adversaries. They want to keep, prolonging some things. They want to keep prolonging destruction and the destruction of life and property. Well, there's more than one way to accomplish the goal. All right, guys, stick around. We'll be right back, and I cannot wait.
it doesn't clean as well.
80% water? I thought I was getting a better deal because it's so big.
If you want a better clean, Tide Pods are only 12% water. The rest is pure, concentrated cleaning ingredients.
Oh, let me make an announcement.
Attention shoppers, if you want a real deal, try Tide Pods.
Stop paying for watered-down detergents. Pay for clean. If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Pods. Water content based on the leading bargain liquid detergent.
See, this is a guy
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Now you find wonderful folks across
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Always mention it.
The more you listen to your kids, the closer you'll be. So we asked kids, what do you want your parents to hear?
I feel sometimes that I'm not listened to. I would just want you to listen to me more often and evaluate situations.
Perfect. All right, guys, we got about a minute and a half left on break. I'm going to take a tiny little water break. I'll be right back. TikTok, stick around, man. We're going live, minute and a half. Q, don't go anywhere.
I'll be here.
Welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show. We are broadcasting live from the KPEL studios here in Lafayette, Louisiana. Go check us out on my X page at Josh Guillory USA. Shout out to KLFY Plus viewing audience. We certainly appreciate you. All right, so we are talking about a Senate vote that advanced a war powers resolution that would basically says, you can't do anything, Mr. President, in Venezuela anymore without first coming back to Congress. Okay, I think the goal was accomplished, but I got it. Now, here's the deal. Now, there's also some talks, on other things, but the operation in question, you may recall, Operation Absolute Resolve. It was described by the Trump administration as a limited mission, and it was, tied to capturing Nicolas Maduro. Very single target, isolated. It was not a declaration of war. Only Congress can do that, but it wasn't even a tacit declaration of war. It wasn't a long-term military engagement. Administration officials stated there are no U.S. boots on the ground in Venezuela, though border options remain available. The resolution, it still faces another Senate vote. Apparently, that would require this 60 votes to clear a filibuster. I didn't know that had to have a filibuster. I thought that was a majority vote.
Yeah, of all things that should not be bound by the filibuster, this seems like one that wouldn't be.
Yeah, exactly. But, hey, Kane and Paul, that's Senator Rand Paul, so there's Democrats and 5 Republicans that have joined suit with them, have already announced plans to pursue other resolutions that are similar to this, targeting potential actions include, check this out, Greenland, Cuba, Mexico, Colombia, some other countries. So they got to be asked first. I wonder why stop there? Why stop? Listen, why stop there? I mean, the president has to, to go to the bathroom, he has to do a few things too. Like he has to stand up, presumably. He's got to open the door if it's closed. If it's not closed, but you got to set those rules out. Like, y'all want a resolution for that too? Should he come to y'all before he go? What about if he has to staple a piece of paper? Does because that is used in tax dollars. I mean, that staple didn't get there for nothing, you know? So this vote was basically politics dressed up as principle. And everybody involved knows it. The only one I think who's genuine is Rand Paul. It's the only one. And I ain't mad at him. He's been consistent. I can deal with that. Because if this exact same operation had happened under a Democrat president, the vote would have flipped. The speeches would have flipped. The media tone would have flipped. And half the people clutching the Constitution today would have suddenly discovered executive authority overnight.
Yep.
What bothers people is not the law, it is the president. The United States is not living in a theoretical civics textbook, senators. Not in the great halls of Congress. We're operating in a world where hostile regimes, narco-states, terror networks, and foreign adversaries do not wait for floor speeches and committee markups and little social media posts and little talks about it. Man, they move when they see opportunity. They strike when they sense hesitation. Look at the world. And look how the world sees us. Oh, he's got to wait till they, hey, we got time. We got time, the Vlad. We got time, comrade. We got time. They got this silly, stupid resolution they passed. Can you believe it? It's like when they did the good old days, like the Green New Deal. These dumb Americans keep shooting themselves in the foot. Preaching. We don't live in theory. Venezuela, by the way, not a normal country. Just throwing that out there. It is a criminal regime exporting drugs, corruption. It exports instability into our hemisphere. Nicolas Maduro is not a misunderstood little peace-seeking politician. He is a thug running a state built on force and fear. Sound familiar? Treating enforcement actions against that regime like the opening chapter of a new Iraq, a new Operation Iraqi Freedom, that is very dishonest. That is very disingenuous. Congress does have the power to declare war. Sure. And that power exists for sustained conflicts and massive commitments of blood and treasure. It was never designed to micromanage targeted enforcement actions or tie the president's hands every single time the military supports a legitimate national security objective. Some senators say they are worried about what comes next. Yeah, I was worried what came next if he didn't do it, dummy. Weren't y'all the same ones saying that he was all in cahoots with him?
Yup.
Gosh. Man. Well, they said they're concerned. They don't know what's coming next. Well, that concern belongs You know where that concern belongs? It does belong in government, in private briefings, in classified oversight. Yes, oversight, but you classify that and you maintain your discipline. In serious accountability conversations, everything is checked and balanced. Cross those T's, dot those I's, multiple layered accountability. Like, it's classified. There's a reason for it. There's a process. But that concern doesn't belong in public votes that telegraph uncertainty to our enemies and division to our allies. What are you thinking? You're not thinking. You're in some textbook trying to get some cool points for the elites so you can go into your little club, your little Washington, D.C. bubble club. I don't really believe in that orange man's things. Anyway. But there is a reason adversaries test America when they smell confusion. Look at the last 4 years before this one. Deterrence is not built on symbolism. It's built on credibility. And history teaches this clearly. Just read our history. Go look at our history. The United States was attacked at Pearl Harbor before Congress declared war. The declaration followed reality. War was brought to us first. Pretending that danger only exists after a formal vote is comforting, and it's false. When hostile actors, think about this, when hostile actors, when they decide that they're at war with the United States, okay, paperwork does not protect us. Being strong does. Having the appropriate readiness does. But, hey, look, real quick. This is where some Republicans, in my opinion, lost the plot here, okay? Like, conservatism is not performative restraint. Conservatism is disciplined power. It is knowing when to act, when to hold, and when to make doggone sure the other side understands the cost of crossing us. Using these war powers resolutions in this way as political theater, it truly does weaken the very institution all these little yahoos claim to defend. I mean, Congress looks smaller when it turns constitutional authority into a press release, into these little sound bites, into, whatever, memes. The presidency looks weaker when allies see hesitation and enemies see daylight. So, all right. Anyway, I could go on, and maybe we will. We got so much to talk about, though. We'll switch topics when we get back, and the phone lines are wide open, and I can't wait to hear from you. What's up, my Rumble, YouTube, X? Go check us out, man, at Josh Guillory USA on X / formerly known as Twitter. I think that's how you say it, right?
Every time they send me an email, it's X, open parenthesis, formerly known as Twitter, close.
See?
I'm like, why did you rebrand?
Straight up. We all know it by now, but they're still called tweets, right?
I think they're trying to make, I think their position is to try and call them posts.
Posts.
You're not retweeting, you're reposting.
Ah, a little branding there. All right, guys, we got about 18 seconds. All right, we'll be right back. Welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show, broadcasting live from the KPEL studios here in Lafayette, Louisiana. Man, let me tell you something, my favorite part of the whole show, this segment brought to you by our friends over there at CSafe, csafe.com, SEA just like the ocean. Man, we're going to talk about Iran. Things might be changing. Norm, I'm coming to you. Hang tight. So I just want to kind of tell folks, man, if you haven't been watching Iran, there are some things that are going on that this time may be different. This time, so we got protests spreading across Iran. I mean, like, really, as the economy over there is tanking, the regime responds with force, as you imagine. And according to this little article I wrote from Mustafa Salem, yeah, that's right. Well, Mustafa does a good job because the article details how shortages, inflation, government crackdowns, all of that has pushed unrest from Tehran all the way into the provinces nationwide. It is go Google that stuff, man. And it's creating the most serious, like we've seen in a while, serious internal challenge the Iranian regime. I don't think this regime's faced it. No way.
Not like this.
No way. Yeah, you had a few, the guy in the 2000s, whatever. You had a few, and when it didn't last long. I wonder what they would do at our protesters.
Well, it's interesting that you should ask that. I have some ideas.
Oh, okay. Do you think Norm has some? We should probably get, chill on that. Let's go for my friend Norm from Poche Bridge. Norm. Run for president. Senator, run for president. It's not a war. It's carrying out the law. And by the way, there is a war, whether you want to admit it or not. The cartels are at war with us. Whether you tell me if they're at war with us. How many American casualties have happened on American soil due to the drug cartels, due to Maduro? How many? One's enough. You tell me if that's not a war. That is a deadly war, a silent war, a war of terror, true terror, an invisible enemy. Not no mo. It's starting to be seen. Shout out Kill Switch. I'm with you. Question 8, Big Tib, Jenny, 7788, all the folks, all the people. All right here. Let's see here. Let's go. Caller, you are live on the Josh Guillory Show. What is your name? Where you call? Sharing in that sentiment for sure. Yeah, you know, I don't know about the whole payout Maduro thing, but these days, look at it all. I mean, look what hey, you just need to look at it all.
I mean, President Trump gave him an offer he couldn't refuse. Just no horses.
Well, man, let's go back to Iran because this is interesting. You know, Iran is experiencing, like I said, nationwide protests, and you can imagine, and I think maybe we couldn't imagine. We can, but they couldn't. I bet you this is so new to them. But finally, if you think about it, after how many years or decades of soaring inflation, and look at their currency. Their currency is like bottoming out. It's collapsing. They have shortages of basic goods. Like, and the people see that. They don't need, you can't suppress, not in this day and age, that. Not like they have been. The unrest began when, and you might have seen this, shopkeepers and students, it started with in Tehran, including at the Grand Bazaar, and has spread to more than 100 cities. That's at least been reported in just over a week. That's impressive over there for sure. I mean, even our wokesters would be impressed with that, because you know they got different obstacles than our wokesters do. They could do a little Snapchat over here. A recent decision by Iran's central bank to end access to cheaper U.S. dollars caused sudden spikes over there in prices for essentials like cooking oil and chicken. Chicken's a big deal. In response, the government offered small cash handouts. Be not afraid. Here, money. Roughly $7 per month. Did y'all hear me?
How much?
Small cash handouts, roughly $7 per month. While admitting it cannot fix the crisis alone. That's what the government... Well, I'll be honest. You know what, government over there, you probably did say something honest there. You cannot fix the crisis alone. You're finding out what every other government finds out. We keep reminding the government this. You can't legislate morality, and you can't fix everybody's problems. As a matter of fact, government can't fix anybody's problem. It's not designed to. It really isn't. Designed to do just a few things. And if you do those things well, all the things that you're trying to fix with government will naturally happen and happen better. Now, order is not lost over there. Security forces have cracked down hard, with at least 38 people reportedly killed. You hear that, wokesters? Go take your protest to Iran. More than 2,000 arrested, according to human rights groups outside of Iran. Protesters have openly chanted death to Khamenei, whatever his name is, the K guy. Khamenei. Directly challenging Iran's supreme leader. Better watch it. Let's go back to the phone lines. Caller, you're live on the Josh Guillory Show. What's your name? Where you calling from? We'll see. I will say this about that call. 10 years ago, we can stretch this now. 10 years ago, I would have said, of course not. Even, 2026, 7 years ago, before COVID, I would have said, come on. Even maybe right at the beginning of COVID in the first week, okay? Maybe 2 weeks. I'll give it 2 weeks. But today, I mean, if I'm just saying some of the things, I don't know the answer, and I don't understand it, and I don't pretend to, okay? But some of the things that Trump has said that I really thought was outlandish and was like, what are you doing? It's reckless. It's needless. I don't know, man. I'm not willing to say that they make sense right now. Most of what he does makes a heck of a lot of sense. I love what the president's doing. I'm talking about like the Greenland stuff. I'm talking about even Maduro, the way that we did it, and the drug boats and the tariffs, the border, it's all kind of making sense now. The Monroe Doctrine, like it's all kind of making sense right now. It's like the 4 years he had off. It sounds like he may have surrounded himself around good counsel.
I agree.
And probably learned a lot in silence, which is often the case. All right, guys, stick around. We'll be right back. That's interesting. All good. What's up, my ex-folks and YouTube and Rumble? We got that Rumble chat going hot and heavy over there, rumble.com. Look up the Josh Giller Show. We are in a tiny commercial break. Got about 2 minutes left. We should have kept the mics on because we were on a roll, man. I can't, we were talking about Maduro. And just the the skill, the cojones, the oomph, man, the operation to just get Maduro. I mean, shutting down all the electricity, shutting down China and them's air defense and stuff like that. Going in there in the middle of the night. We had one aircraft that was hit. We lost no aircraft. We didn't lose a single soldier. They did. I don't know how many, but they did. So there was a few firefights. But and then successfully captured the president of freaking Venezuela and brought him back to New York.
With a wardrobe.
With a wardrobe. That's right. You saw that? They gave him a jacket.
Or didn't he change? Wasn't that
that was the court appearances and stuff.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know. So I just think it might all be coming together. I don't expect us walking out with Greenland, okay? But just the end, we may have more interest in it than we once had.
I think if we were to try and take Greenland by force, China takes Taiwan, North Korea goes south.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a spark that we don't want. But we do want Greenland.
I don't think it sparks that, because I don't think China wants the aftermath of invading Taiwan.
Well, that's true too.
But because I was trying to equate it to Russia invading Ukraine, but China's on Russia's side. So
right.
Yeah. All right, guys, we'll take 10 seconds, 15 seconds. Be right back. Welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show. We are broadcasting live from the KPEL Studios here in Lafayette, Louisiana. Also broadcasting live on my X page at Josh Guillory USA. Go check us out. Check us out at rumble.com. Got the chat going on over there. And shout out to our TikTokers over here. Over here. All right, let's see here. So, yeah, Iran, very interesting over there. Very interesting. But running out of money, running out of credibility, running out of ideas. And by the way, I think the response by them, here's $7. And $7 maybe, I don't know this answer because their currency is like almost non-existent right now. I mean, it's not that bad, but it's bad. And so maybe $7 is a lot. They sell any property? All right. Let's so this one I titled this little topic Hassling Hochul. A little alliteration there for you, okay? Man, I don't know if you guys saw this. Our friend in New York, she's been in the news, Miss Kathy Hochul, Governor Kathy Hochul. She went on Morning Joe, had a good little discussion, a little cup of Joe with Morning Joe, and casually admitted, oh, no big deal. She harassed a federal ICE officer outside a federal building in New York City. No big deal. All the governors are doing it. She said she confronted him for, and that's what she said. I'm just reporting. I'm just telling you. Okay? She confronted him for terrorizing people. Ooh, bold, Governor. You big Billy, you know what? Then she teased a new anti-ICE proposal. Uh-oh, little teaser. She's going to have a new anti-ICE proposal coming out, according to her interview in Morning Joe. So New Yorkers, get ready. You too could be like your friends in Minnesota. I mean, but this really does tell, because I want to highlight culture. That's really what my point is in all this. Because this tells you everything. I mean, when a sitting governor, again, of New York of all places, okay? When a governor treats a federal law enforcement officer like the villain, she is not making public policy. She is setting culture. She is setting culture. She has every right to do it. But just because you can doesn't mean you should, because culture is permission. That moment tells activists they are right to interfere. Think about and think of when she's doing. These guys are so out of touch. They live in a bubble. All this stuff with going on in Minnesota, all this stuff with this shooting and the ICE officer and the ICE agents and the illegal activity, the illegal aliens, all the things, the crime. But this culture tells all these activists, you're cool. Come on down and interfere. It tells mobs, because that's what these little paid protesters do. It tells mobs they are justified. And it tells ICE agents they should expect hostility from Americans while doing their jobs. That's what that culture does. And that is how enforcement gets very, very dangerous. And that is how order erodes. I mean, all of this matters. I mean, leaders model behavior. Governors do not heckle street-level officers. What is wrong with her? And then casually, it's just Morning Joe. Serious adults do not posture at cops. If you have a problem with the federal policy, you take it up with the White House. Take it up with Congress or the courts or something. You don't bully the guy wearing the badge, especially when you're in office. You can disagree with the policy all you want. But don't worry. Hochul says, she keeps saying it, she's going to support ICE. I mean, she keeps saying she supports cooperation with ICE when it comes to criminal aliens, okay? But then she brags about confronting a doggone ICE agent for enforcing the law. More and more people are seeing it. We're bringing it up because you can't, I mean, why not? All right? To my friends in New York, come on now. Of all places, it's only 25 years later. Golly. All right, guys, stick around. We'll be right back. Hour number 2 right around the corner, and I can't wait. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to hour number 2 of the Josh Guillory Show. I remain your very, very grateful host. And in studio with me still, Q Money Magicalicious over there. What's up, man?
Beautiful day and waiting for those thunderstorms.
Q, if it was raining, you'd still say it's a beautiful day.
That is 100% true because every time I say it, I look out the window and see what the weather is.
All right, and this one person just walked in the studio, made me smile. That's fantastic. You make me smile too.
I do what I can.
And our wonderful audience makes me smile all the time. Hey guys, we're broadcasting live from the KPEL studios here in Lafayette, Louisiana. We're also broadcasting live on rumble.com. Let me see you over there at rumble.com. Go to my X page at Josh Guillory USA and shout out to my little TikTokers out there. They're not little, TikTokers. Anywho. Hey guys, when strength matters, when custom matters, when failure's not an option, C-Safe, they deliver. C-Safe FRP products are engineered to resist corrosion, to reduce maintenance, and outlast the competition in the harshest environments. From offshore platforms to wastewater treatment plants and everywhere in between, their products over there at C-Safe are American-made and manufactured right here in Acadiana by American workers. C-Safe, check them out. csafe.com, S-E-A, just like the ocean. Shout out to my boy Clay and crew. Some good people over there, man. Proud Americans. We're going to open up those phone lines again in the bottom half of this hour. Let's go to the ACA, Obamacare, Affordable Care Act. So the House is... hey, if I don't, I'm going to cry. Yeah, right. How do you right? And I've never understood. I've talked to so many people who have said it's broken, from business owners to individual. I know what I was paying before. Jeez. But anywho, so the House is set to vote on this one issue that seems to be still looming, and it is, whether or not to extend the Affordable Care Act subsidies, and that's the emphasis, subsidies, for 3 more years. The vote is not on Obamacare. The vote is on the actual subsidies that were created under President Biden during COVID. Okay? Now, the Democrats on Capitol Hill pushing hard, and a block of centrist Republicans have tried to force a bipartisan deal after months of stalemate. This was a big old deal. Now, I don't give my fellow Republicans a pass here. We should have had legislation on day 1. If not day 1, can we at least by month 6? I mean, by month 6, we have been in power in at least the House before January 20th, 2026, or January 1st, 2020, whatever it was, 2024. You get what I'm saying? Like, come on. But regardless, extending them for 3 years is not the answer either. I mean, just willy-nilly. That's why this little block of Republicans, man, there are some things that I can understand, like principle. I get it. You make no sense here. This is not a hill to die on. Like, this is not one to go and be, you can prove that you're a purple people eater, rhino, blue, red. You get it. All right, so fuel facts. Those are important. All right, again, this is a Democrat-backed bill. Make no mistake. This is a Democrat-backed bill. All the Democrats are voting on it, and a handful of Republicans. And the bill would extend the ACA subsidies for 3 years. Again, these were created under President Biden during COVID. They're expired, or they're set to expire. No, they did expire December 31st, like 8 days ago. Now, roughly 22 million people currently receive the subsidies. That's not something you can just bat your eye out at. Don't bat your eye out. 22 million. And their premiums are set to rise without action. So, 4 House Republicans signed a discharge petition to force the vote, breaking with leadership. Several additional Republicans have signaled some support, suggesting the bill would pass the House. Now, it's important to remember, though, the Senate rejected the same 3-year extension in December. I don't think it's going anywhere. That's why this posturing by these handful of Republicans, it's mind-boggling to me. Very mind-boggling. Golly.
There was a talk of a shutdown there. I can just picture it all coming together. It's like Chuck
Yeah.
raw cheeseburgers.
Yes. Yes.
And it's going to taste the same.
100%. So, Senate negotiators are now working on a charter extension paired with some reforms. That's good. That's good. I mean, it's not passing the Senate. But here's the deal. Key GOP demands. So what's the Republicans saying? They're saying some good things. It includes income limits. Like, let's think about this here, okay? We're talking about 22 million Americans. That's no small number. But these are supposedly 22 million Americans that are in need, like that are they can't take care of themselves. So what is the problem with having income limits? And I will say this. I learned this in my time in office. You don't want to create it where there's a cliff. You don't want to punish someone for getting better. You don't want to do that. But you can't keep them incentivized to stay on the system either. Not when they can get off the system. So the GOP, Republican ideas include income limits. Watch this one. Ending $0 premium plans. Preventing insurers from auto-enrolling people without their knowledge. These are all yes.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
So exactly. So those right there, okay? Just those points. Oh, and another major sticking point is abortion coverage and the Hyde Amendment. So there are some really big things in the GOP's plan that I really believe would resonate with most Americans. But we're going to take a tiny little break. All right, when we get back, just when you told me that, we're going to take a tiny little break because I want to wrap this topic up. When we get back, we got so much more to talk about, but we're gonna peel back some of the layers of the onion. I think when we do, I don't know if we're gonna want to make a gumbo, but we'll see. Welcome in, X and Rumble, YouTube, all our people. Appreciate you guys. I was just chatting with my TikTok folks. So TikTok guys, yeah, you don't get to see all the graphics and all the stuff that Rumble and X and all those folks get to see, but you absolutely get raw footage. so nothing to hide there. But anywho, when we get back, yeah, we're gonna keep talking about these ACA subsidies, man. That's not what's got my blood boiling. It's these Republicans that, like, I'm all about finding I really am all about finding common ground because most of the things we agree on. What are these guys thinking of? They're just gonna and how many of them say they're pro-life?
Exactly.
How many of them say they're pro-life and they're gonna?
And how many of them have in the past talked about repeal and replace?
Thank you. How many replacement options have they created? None. Exactly. That's what aggravates us. But still much more good going on over there than bad. And that we can always kind of hold on to. All right, look, we're going to take a tiny little break. Unless you got something to say to the folks while I go get some water. Nope. Oh, you're looking at me like you got stuff to do.
I have a couple of producer tasks.
Let him produce. All right. Hey, guys, 2 minutes. We'll be right back. Stick around. Tell a friend. Get us up on Rumble. Welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show, broadcasting live from Rumble.com, X at Josh Guillory USA, and from the KPEL studios here in Lafayette, Louisiana. So we're talking about the Obamacare subsidies that were not Obamacare, just Obamacare subsidies that were created during COVID by President Biden. And Democrats have an initiative, and just a handful of Republicans. And they've said, well, you know what? Who cares about being pro-life? Who cares about, fiscal restraint and fiscal responsibility? Because we got to help these folks. If they would just look at their own party. Hey, newsflash, handful of Republicans. If you support the GOP plan, your party, that too will pass with your votes because you have the ... majority. This is a no-brainer. And to my friends that are Democrat that are listening and watching, look what I rattled off. There's no way that you can disagree with this. Think about it. Let's see here. Income limits. What? Who can argue against that? Who can argue against that? I don't think anybody can. Ending $0 premium plans, preventing insurers from auto-enrolling people without your knowledge. There's plenty of Democrats that are pro-life. What about the abortion coverage? You still want to pay for that? The Hyde Amendment? Come on. President Trump urged the Republicans to be flexible on Hyde and to unlock a broader deal. That's his position. He's trying to strike a deal. Senate GOP leadership, including the Senate leader, John Thune, he has made clear Reforms are required for any Senate deal. So this is just politics, and it's stupid politics for these handful of Republicans. What are you signaling? I'm all about finding common ground because we do agree more than we disagree. But guess what? I think most Americans agree on what I just rattled off than the opposite, than the alternative, which is to extend it. Because this vote, we keep talking about healthcare innovation. This vote has nothing to do with healthcare innovation. It's about political pressure and institutional drift. Shout out to my boys and gals over there at C-Safe, man. I love it. Appreciate the support. They get it, by the way. They get common sense. They're Americans. CSafe.com. But the ACA subsidies were sold. Remember how they were sold to us? Oh, it's just temporary, guys. It's COVID. It's COVID. What are you talking about? Like COVID was oh, I'm talking rational, I'm reasonable. Oh, you throw the COVID card. It's like, oh, no, my bad. I didn't know you had the COVID card. Oh, well, then the heck with the common sense. The heck with that. Oh, COVID? Oh, my gosh. Well, why didn't you say so? COVID card. Here you go. Man, that card was played a lot. But, I mean, temporary, and they quietly became, notice what we're talking about. Temporary relief, and now quietly they're somehow permanent. Because that's what happens when you grow government in any form. To include for conservative causes that are not within the Constitution. Not the case here. This is just silly. Republicans are 100% right on this. And I think most Democrat Americans agree with their plan. But boy, that leadership, the DNC, etc., etc. But now Washington is acting surprised that pulling them back causes pain. Washington created this. But think about it. This is how entitlement expansion works every single time. Every single time. And Republicans are right about one thing. Sending billions straight to insurance companies with minimal guardrails is bad policy. The $0 premium plan, it creates distortion. Auto enrollment, what more form of inviting abuse do you need? Like, here you go.
Well, we could ask Ilhan Omar to write a bill.
Oh, God. Hey, she knows how to drop a bill on Capitol Hill. She knows earmarks for sure. Unlimited income eligibility. All that turns subsidies into middle-class welfare with no off-ramp. That's the reality. But we could fund all this stuff if we'd stop funding transgender plays in Sesame Street and Turkey, which I think we got a handle on that. But those problems are real, what we just talked about. And Democrats, I'll give you this. I will give you this. At least your talking point. I will agree with your talking point, okay? You're right about one thing, too. Letting premiums spike overnight does hit real people who plan their finances around what Washington promised them. We got to recognize that. So that political fallout is real. And that is what I thought Marjorie Taylor Greene was saying at the time. You know, there's that week where I thought reasonableness was dancing. And now I don't know what happened again. I don't know. Maybe we're back. I don't know. Felt like I had whiplash. But we need not turn to slogans. There are reforms. You know, look, if subsidies are extended, let's just say, they should be targeted. Income caps, they should exist. It makes sense. Consumers should control the money, not the insurers. Transparency should be mandatory, not optional. Auto enrollment should never have been a thing, and it should end. HSAs. Health savings accounts should be part of the future. Not like right now it's thought of like as an afterthought. And I'm not saying it is the answer for everybody, but it should be part of the solution more. That is conservative policy with a human spine. And it makes sense. The Hyde fight, that's the flashpoint. And Republicans are not wrong to insist that taxpayer dollars stay out of abortion. Democrats are not interested in reopening that door, that I think, okay? That I think. But this is where all that leadership we talk about matters. I mean, Trump's signal to be flexible, I think, is strategic. I don't think it's ideological surrender. I also think he understands Reagan's principle. 60% is better than zero. A Democrat that agrees with you 80% of the time is not 20% your enemy. Like that's like I see that now. Some of the way he communicates his thoughts elsewhere, and the name calling, maybe it overshadows some of this strategery. But a lot of common sense in this. And I don't think it's ideological surrender. That's my point on that. But he understands something Washington forgets, though. And we just alluded to it. A bad stalemate, it really does not benefit anyone here. A structured compromise beats a chaotic collapse. And I think that is the only person I hear talk about that. And he has the platform as the president. But the House GOP is also, they're lockstep. And these are things, as we talk about it, these are things that benefit Republican, Democrat, Independent, Green Party, whatever. But also exposes a few little things, larger issue inside the GOP. Think about it. Healthcare remains unresolved because Republicans never finished the job. We opposed Obamacare. They never replaced it. Why? We avoided the issue. Now the system keeps expanding by default because that's what Washington does. This subsidy thing, we should have had it under control. Discharge petitions, though, like what we're seeing, they're not a sign of rebellion. They are a symptom of leadership gap. And when majorities are blocked from voting, members find other ways to move the ball. But that also goes to show you how much of a slim majority we have. So when Louisiana Republicans still to this day refuse to take back the Democrat seat that they created, no offense to anybody, and properly reflect the voice of the constituency, it makes it harder. These political deals have consequences. So, chew on that. When we get back, we're going to open up them phone lines. 232-1542, 844-766-6607. I can't wait. What is up, my people? Shout out to all our viewing audience on X at Josh Guillory USA. Shout out to rumble.com. I love that chat, man. I was sitting there telling Q, like, hey, Q, the audio's kind of loud, Big Tib saying, and you already fixed it. You already, big boy, Big Boy MX. All right. Hey, yeah, man, this, what do you think about this topic over here? Phone lines are open, 844-766-6607, 232-1542. But, I get it. We can't just abandon the folks in need, but my gosh, why are these handful of Republicans, like, why are you dying on that hill?
It makes no sense.
That's what I'm saying. I can't even see the political win.
No, because they all have to face primaries.
Right. Exactly. And how many of these Republicans go out there and say they're pro-life?
Exactly.
And you want to extend 3 years worth of funding? Like, and they want to open up that door.
And then what political activities can be going on when the funding expires? Because they never design these things to expire at a convenient time where there's not a ton of pressure on everyone for elections.
No joke. And it's kind of always, like, even like the shutdowns and stuff. Like, man, guys, y'all. But that, they don't, if you bring back line item veto, I think it helps it.
Definitely.
If not, eliminates that issue. But, dude, it's crazy. So they're live over there? That's pretty interesting. I don't even know where they're at.
I have no idea what's happening.
Oh, there you go. Oh, school board or something.
Oh, school system.
Anyway. All right, guys, look, we're going to, we got like 20 seconds left. We're going to come back live. Certainly appreciate you. Stick around. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show. Louisiana, also broadcasting live on our X page at Josh Guillory USA. Shout out to our KLFY Plus viewing audience. Certainly appreciate you. Shout out to our TikTok folks, too. Hey, man, phone lines are open, 232-1542, 844-766-6607. You could be like my friend Renee and impose your will for 30 seconds. Okay, but we got to have a starting point and let the truth continue to come out, because you do need to vet these things, because there are a lot of people that I saw online showing videos where it does look like the lady is fleeing and they shot. But if you flip it and you see other angles. I've seen plenty of angles and still shots where there is a what appears to be a bullet entry point on the front windshield, which kind of lines up with what ICE is saying, that the car was going towards the ICE agent, fired a shot, got out the way. So let the story play out, because you can slow-mo these things, you can clip these videos, you can do all this, but at the same time, we can make that position and still recognize how avoidable that situation was. ICE, there's no reason why the President of the United States and ICE had to send 2,000 ICE agents to Minneapolis. That is ridiculous. I mean, how close is that? It's close to the doggone Canadian border, but my goodness. Well, but it's different type. And I'll tell you, it's mind-boggling there too. All right, let's go to the phone lines. Where are we going? Warren, what you got, Warren?
Got Jeff Landry saying he want to bring manure to Louisiana to Angola and execute him. If he can't execute him, he's gonna put manure in the Angola section for him and keep him here in Louisiana. So it's crazy what's going on. It's stepped on a large scale, and they said that California is like 5 times bigger, and Gavin Newsom, they looking at putting him under the jail. I hope they put him and Tampon Tim in the same cell together. Let the best man win. Thank you, Josh.
Appreciate you, Warren. All right, let's go to Stephen. Stephen, what's up, brother? Thanks for calling in. What you got?
Hey, you got another caller ID, huh?
What you got, man?
I wonder if the conservative people would be as so passive if they were going around seizing people's firearms, because all it would do is would you be so passive as to just allow it to happen if they were going door to door, or would you try to fight back a little bit like the people on the other side have done?
I'm not seeing the correlation. What is the
government? Well, no, I'm just saying in the future if that did happen, because we have some radical changes coming that are happening right now. And, all these people that we supported could turn against us. They could turn against us at some point in time. Maybe not now, maybe 20, maybe 30 years from now,
Stephen, you're making a good point. Like, you're making a really good point about power and about how we should have discipline. And that the roads lead to Rome, what is it? They go both ways? So this
can go both ways.
That's right. That's why we have to be cautious. I'm very much a conservative Republican, but I have certain values that make sense to be implemented maybe at the local level, but you start getting up there at the national level and you start imposing my values on people that don't believe in me, and then you create government that grows bigger and bigger, and you give it power and power. Yeah, at some point, somebody else is going to be in charge, and they're going to use that power against you. So I am totally with you on that. Oh, we lost Stephen. Oh, you hung up? Okay, thanks, Steve. Hey, Stephen, you got me on a roll now, and I'm with you. We got time for another? Yeah, we got time. All right, let's see here. Caller, you are live on the Josh Guillory Show. What's your name? Where you calling from? Oh, that's Mr. Bobby. What's up, Mr. Bobby?
10 Hunt, officer on deck. That's
care. I think he's talking about our shoes.
I agree.
You got red shoes, you got blue shoes, you got shoes with shoelaces, you got shoes with no shoelaces, whole bunch of stuff.
Sandals.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You can't believe. Yeah, absolutely. We understand now. We get it. We gets it. So yeah, back to the healthcare stuff though. Man, look, I get the whole. I just don't understand these Republicans siding with these Democrats. Okay, I'm with you on finding common ground. We should find common ground on a lot of things. I'm with you that we should not, absolutely should not just abandon these 22 million Americans just because we couldn't get our act together. We shouldn't do that either. We should have also had a plan. But I mean, this is not. Just the income limits, just the ending the $0 premiums, where we're not just sending money to insurance companies with zero oversight or anything like that. The subsidies that we're talking about, very finite within the law. Okay, these were created under President Biden during COVID. It was supposed to be very temporary. Temporary ends up 3 years later? Jeez. And now we're faced with this. And it just happens to come in between two government shutdown discussions. We can argue how we got here. It doesn't matter. But I just don't see. Because when the Republican leadership offers a plan that addresses the 22 million folks, and it just says, hey, once you do get on your feet and you set, you do these things, you're going to need to get off the subsidy. So there's income limits. We already talked about the $0 premium. But this auto-enrolling as well. Anybody that likes choice, Republican or Democrat, that should really, and specifically without even knowledge, how can you argue that? How can you argue that? And I said it earlier, I don't think Democrat leadership, if you're looking, you might want to think tank. I don't think you want to open up the abortion talk. I really don't. Not an election year. I think most Americans are tired of it. All right, guys, stick around. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show, broadcasting live from the KPEL studios here in Lafayette, Louisiana. Hey, man, when strength matters, when custom matters, when failure's not an option, C-Safe delivers. C-Safe FRP products. Go check them out over there, man. They're engineered to resist corrosion. They can handle a whole bunch of things in the harshest environments, and we know all about that. Greatest thing about them, they're made here in America by American workers. Actually, they're made in Acadiana by American workers. C-Safe, go check them out. SEA, just like the ocean. And if you see my friend Clay, tell him I said, hey. There we go. All right, I'm going to wrap a bow on my little rant about ACA subsidies here, because I don't like to complain without a recommended solution, and I think that the offer, the proposed legislation, at least by the House Republicans and the Senate, I think it accomplishes that. Because the right outcome here, and remember what we're talking about. We're not talking about Obamacare. Would love to, but we're not. We're talking about the specific subsidies associated with COVID under President Biden. President Biden issued these subsidies under COVID. They were they did expire December 31st last year, so just over a week ago. That's what we're talking about. And you have the Democrat Party that just wants to extend that without any changes, no restraints, no reform, no fiscal responsibility. They want to take what a temporary, under what was perceived to be an emergency temporary deal, and want to extend it. It's already been 3 years. I don't know what temporary. That's what I'm talking about. Federal government. The federal government doesn't understand temporary power. It just understands power. You see what I'm saying? All right. So, we're on the same page. But the right outcome here is narrow, disciplined, and temporary, like truly temporary, and temporary individually. Hey, extend relief, fix distortions, protect taxpayers. How can you argue with this? Stop pretending emergency policy can run forever. That's what Washington does. That's what the federal government does. That's what government will do if you don't watch it. Hey, Republicans want to win on health care? They have to govern on it. I mean, you're hiding. You're hiding from it when you don't need to be. And maybe that is the moment the House just stepped into. Who knows? And by the way, ACA, ramrodded through budget reconciliation. So it's not that we don't want to balance the budget in Washington right now. We are choosing not to. We have the power, us conservatives, us Republicans. I wear two hats. Us Republicans, seriously. You could do it right now. You could balance the budget. You could put Joni Ernst's $2.1 trillion cut right now. You choose not to do it. It's not because you can't. Just like the Democrat president previously. He chose not to enforce the border laws. He didn't need more border. He didn't need another law. He just needed to enforce the laws on the books. Same thing applies here. And we can do it. Joe Public Republican understands it. I don't know why the four, leaders don't. Anyway, on a happy note, our boy Fetterman. See, I'm going to shout out to my Democrat friend. Our boy Fetterman, man. I just, hey, again, we don't agree on everything. Lord knows we don't agree on everything. But we sure as heck can agree on good faith efforts to find common ground. And that is what this guy has. Good faith efforts to find common ground on common sense items. So, Pennsylvania Senator John Fetterman said the United States should ideally purchase Greenland. I'm just saying. He said the United States should ideally purchase Greenland, comparing it to the Louisiana Purchase and the acquisition of Alaska, and stated he does not support taking the territory by force, of course. I thought that was interesting. His comments do align with President Trump's renewed push here in Greenland. Apparently, it's a strategic value, and the more I look into it, it's a lot of this stuff is. I'm not ready to sign off on it. I'm just saying some of the stuff is starting to make a little more sense to me than it did, even 2 months ago. Even some of the rhetoric. Danish officials and the former U.S. ambassador. Oh, yes. Thank you for your comments. Can you please write another check to get your appointment? Strongly rejected. Sorry. They strongly rejected that idea, calling it unrealistic and inappropriate in the modern era. Well, thank you for your 2 cents. All right, guys. Hey, man, shout out to my boys over there at Stan's Auto. You got some free... Ooh, I was about to say... You got some doggone needs in your car. You go see my boys over there at Stan's. They will take care of you. Tell Sterling I said, hey. Hey, guys, appreciate the 2 hours. Be careful out there. May God bless you. And be kind.